with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is...
I was afraid, I didn't know what to do. A lot of us be coming in it.
And what I'll say was amazing to me was...
Season 2, welcome back to the L3 Perspective. My name is Glenn Davis. As you know, I'm sitting here with my co-host, Cameron Macias.
Coach Cam.
L3 Perspective, as you know, we talk about life, love, leadership.
As we've talked about in the past, like, love, share, subscribe. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Because at the end of the day, we do it for you guys.
Welcome back to the L3 Perspective. We talk life, love, leadership. Cam and I are sitting here with our guest, Darren Holmes, who's the founder of Protective Marketing LLC.
Yes, sir.
Originally from Vallejo.
Vallejo, California.
Yes. Originally from Vallejo, residing in Solano County, helping a lot of businesses and nonprofit organizations come up with marketing strategic plans. And, one of the reasons Cam and I wanted to have you on is because, we talk to a lot of businesses and entrepreneurs, and one of the things that we realize is something that they lack and they need assistance with is the branding and marketing, right? And so because of how you've been carrying yourself, because of how you do carry yourself, here in Solano County, we wanted to have you on the platform, man. And so first and foremost, we thank you.
I'm honored. Thank you.
We're about to have a great conversation. I'm going to toss over to Cam before we dive in.
Yeah, sir. So as you guys know, like, love, share, subscribe. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Because at the end of the day, we do it for y'all. And if we don't know what you like and or what you don't, then we're not really making the show for you guys. We can have all the conversations in the world, but we do it so that you guys can gain something from it. So with that being said, let's get into it.
Let's go. Again, thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and that thank you extends on what you do in the community. One of the things that, Cam and I noticed that you're pretty involved with a lot of organizations, and the impact that's being made from, Tri-City, NAACP, to the Leaders of Men, to Watch Me Grow Inc., like a number of organizations.
Solano Realtors.
Yes, Solano Realtors is absolutely.
Don't forget.
Yes, and obviously there's a laundry list of those. So my first question is, as far as community involvement, like what inspired you to be so committed and connected to wanting to serve your community?
I think it goes to one of the L's in the L3. It's love. And I have a lot of love for my community. I know it needs a lot of love as well. And that takes doing the extra, going the extra mile. So knowing that somebody went the extra mile for me, sometimes I didn't even see that happening, makes me it drives me.
For sure.
It just drives me. Yeah.
Cool. I appreciate that.
When did you start kind of like the journey of being more involved in the community? Because from Vallejo, so I grew up in the Bay Area, so I'm from here. Never lived in Vallejo, or never lived on this side of the Carquinez, right?
Yep.
Every single city on the other side except San Francisco, to include Marin. And so, growing up, Vallejo was never a place like, even Fairfield, honestly. This was a pass-through gas station, Fairfield, Vallejo, on the way to Sacramento. Because I eventually moved to Sacramento in my high school. And so, what I've learned so much about Vallejo in the last probably year of us working in the community. And it's always interesting to see those who like rise from it, because it seems so much was stifled there.
Definitely. Yeah, man, Vallejo is definitely one of those cities that if you're not from the Bay Area, you're not familiar with it. So that's just kind of is what it is. I mean, we definitely have people that have made it out of our city, dozens of entertainers, business people who have just done tremendous work out of Vallejo. Like, you'd be surprised if we started doing some research on who's from Vallejo.
Exactly.
Like, you'd be really surprised. So it's a very special place, and I love being from there. And I just also know that it does need the love. So it also made me the person who I am. So I love the toughness that it did give me.
Yeah.
But I do know that it does need some tough love too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting so I'm originally from Philly. And so I was recently talking to my mom about Vallejo, and, and I was just like, certain parts, are very similar to Philly, right? Just a lot smaller. And it's interesting how where you navigate through life and being from an inner city, it's like oftentimes folks expect you just to be one way, or be like, oh, you changed, and one of the things I was sharing with Cam was that, you know, when I see you day to day, you're in a suit and tie, right? And then I can see you at an event, right? And hair's down, you know, still the same person. How was it anything that happened in your life where you still felt comfortable to be who you were from where you were, but still be on the professional side?
I think it's more of I don't forget where I come from.
Yeah.
And so I always feel comfort in that, and I don't want to forget about that.
Sure.
Like, I'm moving on with my life as well, but where I come from is still just, it shows why I have love for people. It's the hardships that I've had, how I fell down and picked myself up at times. Like, I can't forget those times. And so, you know, I'll be at events sometimes and they'll know me from when I was younger,
Right.
you know, and then they'll be like, yo, what are you doing up there? Do they know? Like,
Right.
yeah, they know, man.
Yeah.
Like, so I still stay original to also let people know where I come from with similar backgrounds, that you can be yourself and you can still handle yourself professionally and have fun. And, you know, you don't have to switch up anything as long as you're taking care of business.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say is like probably one of your most major defining moments in your life that's kind of formed who you are?
Tough one. It would be when my father passed.
Okay.
When my father passed, it's probably about like 10 years ago. Hardest, you know, losses that I could ever deal with. But it changed me so much. Like, before then, I think I was just like coasting through life and, you know, still taking care of business, but I think I was coasting. But after my father passed, I started just having real emotions. Like, I'd really be angry if I was angry.
For sure.
I'd really be happy if I was happy, and I could actually find those emotions. So when that happened, it helped change something in me.
Yeah.
And helped me just look at what's important in life.
Right.
So, like, there were some relationships that I was dealing with, and I realized that it's not as important as I thought it was. Like, it just helped mold me and look at things from a whole different perspective. So, definitely one of the hardest losses I had, but it definitely helped shape me as a man moving forward, knowing that I got to figure this thing out now. Like, nobody to go run to and ask, yo, what do I do in this situation?
For sure.
So hard,
Of course.
you know, but.
Yeah. So what do you feel like prepared you, like, for that moment, right? Because, you know, we have there's a lot of folks who are leaders, well, even just men, right? And they're not tapped into how to navigate through those emotions. And so, like, what was it in your life that prepared you for that moment, for you to recognize, like, hey, these are my emotions and this is how I need to kind of navigate through this?
I think God. I grew up in the church, Rehoboth World Outreach Center. Grew up in there, so they've seen me since I was literally born in that church. So that's always been a part of my life. So knowing that my father was saved when he passed away, that gave me some sort of comfort.
Okay.
Being able to deal with that. Yeah.
Gotcha. No, I appreciate it. Thanks for sharing that too.
Did you guys were emotions something talked about in your house? So I didn't grow up with a father, and so I grew up with my mother. And so I tell people all the time, you know, I was fortunate enough to where my mom obviously talked about emotions, things like that. But I know a lot of people who either didn't or did have fathers, like, emotions weren't talked about, or like they weren't helped to know how to, like, name them. So like you were saying, like, when your father passed, you all of a sudden were, like, finding these emotions somewhat.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's very true. No, I don't think emotions was really dealt with per se.
Yeah.
But he did give me more of life lessons. So I was living with my father for a good part, and then I wanted to move in with my mother. But when I was with my father, he taught me a lot of stuff as well, like treating people how you want to be treated.
Of course.
Like things that I still live by today. And that's just something he ingrained in me.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe not emotional, but dealing with those things.
But, like,
another
values.
thing, another thing he told me is, like, when something happens to you that's crazy, emotional wise. He even told me, like, well, I guess we did talk about emotions.
Yeah.
He told me that you can be mad, you can be angry, sad, anything for 10 minutes. When something happens, you got 10 minutes, let it out. You disappointed. But after 10 minutes, that's you thinking about it again.
Yeah.
That's you remembering and getting angry all over again and getting sad all over again.
Right.
After 10 minutes, you gotta move on.
Yeah.
So I try to live by that.
Yeah. That's cool. We often talk about, hopefully our listeners take the time to write some of these things down, because one of the reasons, the platform, the L3 Perspective, was created was just for that, right? And we were talking a little bit about it prior to, but just having an outlet or having a platform where, the value is just given, right? Like, there's so many people, whether aspiring leaders, entrepreneurs, folks just trying to figure out life, that may hear or watch the episode, and they're just like, yo, I got that nugget. Now I can learn how to be whatever, right? You fill in the blank.
Definitely.
And so as you were kind of talking about that, like, I was just kind of picturing kind of same thing. Like, my dad wasn't around, but I knew him, right? But so as a father and as a man, as a leader in my home, like, having the opportunity to bring great individuals on and sit at the table and take some of these principles and teach it to my kids, right? And so, I was sharing with you a little bit earlier, like, Cam and I are very selective on who we bring to the table for that reason, right? Our kids, Cam always says this, between the two of us, we had 9 kids, right? And so based off of the law of numbers, one of them will be seeing this, right? They'll be hearing the conversation that we're having. And so, like I said, hopefully someone is taking note of what's being said, through you and through the conversation that we're having on the platform.
So I want to bring Alex into this, our engineer behind the scenes, big guy. We're gonna do something we're gonna start doing something different. Alex, I know we have had many conversations about you growing up and about how active your father was, and you're like, what are some of the main, and now you being a father, right? Avery, and so
Shout out to Avery.
shout out to Avery. And so that being said, like, what's like one of the main values you think you were taught by your father that helps you navigate that?
I would say number one is having an incredible stepdad. I know me and Glenn talked about this a bunch of times, how hard it is loving another man's child.
Yeah.
And I think that the lessons that my stepdad taught me was kids mimic what you see, whether that be positive or negative.
Yeah.
And like I was, having a conversation with a gentleman inside the Walmart the other day. You can't be something you never had, right? But I was blessed to have a good stepdad. But to get to the point of whether you are successful in life or whether you end up a disappointment, the person who left still is not going to care.
For sure.
Right?
Yep.
And for me, that was the reason why I had joined the military.
Yeah.
Was because if I end up doing life or ended up being a military person, my dad's still not going to care about it, right?
Yeah.
Because he made his decisions, and
Yep.
he has to be accountable for that, right?
Yeah.
And I have to make my decisions because me being 28, whether you go to jail or not go to jail, your kids still need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're not going to care whether you didn't have a dad, you didn't have a mom, how hard your life was. They need you to take care of them, you know what I mean? So I just put that responsibility on myself to make sure I'm everything I didn't have and everything I saw my stepdad do for myself.
Yeah.
The L3 Perspective. I don't know what table you thought you was coming to. But this is the round table. Nah, just kidding. Nah.
Right.
So even kind of on that, like on that thought, it just kind of made me think about a round table. And I know, like, as leaders and entrepreneurs, what are the people like that sit at your table?
Oh, we coming with the heavy hitter, boy.
Well, to be completely honest, I haven't built my table yet.
Okay.
So I'm in the process of seeing what that would look like, how that would be executed. So in the meantime, I'm playing my position. It's like sports. I play basketball. Pretty good at basketball. But one of the things is, but I can go on a team and I can play any position that's needed.
Okay.
I don't have to be the person that scores. I don't have to be, the headline guy.
Yeah.
If a team is running smooth, I can just go in and rebound.
Yeah.
I can just go in and scream. Look, if it's gonna mean we gonna win,
Right.
then I'm for that. So I play that same role in my business. So when I go and work with businesses, like, I'm not going to try to take over anything. I'm coming in to just fill my role, help you guys succeed, because that's what it's all about. Being a part of something bigger than myself. And in turn, doing that is shaping my view on what I want to build.
Yeah.
So I'm still just creating that.
Thank you for the honesty and transparency.
I would, so one of the things we've talked about is that a lot of people talk about planning.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, plan out the future, plan out this, plan out that. And one of the things that I think people are not only forget about but avoid is what does your table look like?
Yeah.
Being specific about who are the people who are going to sit at my table in 10 years.
Exactly.
Because as you build that like intentionality behind it, you know, the law of attraction, right? So like, and as you figure it out, right? Because you said, I'm in the season of kind of figuring out who's at my table. That's something we talk to a lot of people, especially male entrepreneurs. I can't tell you, especially recently, how many folks we've sat down and done consultations with, and we're very big on relationships. We're not just here to fill a need and bounce. Like we want to build a relationship. And through that, it's always funny because at the end of it, they say, man, this was just so nice to talk to another man about building and entrepreneurship and just like a real conversation about growth.
Right.
And that's hard. I mean, you know, Glenn and I talked about this probably about 2 years ago. I was telling him, I said, I don't feel like, and this is as we were getting to know each other again after reconnecting, is I was like, man, I need some men in my life. Like, because I'm feeling real just out on an island by myself. I got people around me, right? You got, you know, all these people, but it's not serving my soul.
Yeah.
You know, and so I hope we can be a part of your table. I look forward to seeing your table.
Yes. This is a long, so we're not building something like, I'm trying to be like you guys. I'm not building something that's going to be gone in a year or two. So what I'm building is like legacy building.
Yeah.
100%.
So I'm going to love to look back at this interview 10 years from now and be like, look.
There you go.
That was us back then.
Yeah. I started recording videos of me in the car to talk about my day.
Yeah.
So I could like look and see what what was going on.
I've done that. I've this is off. Yeah. I've started doing on my birthdays, I'll record little pep talks for myself.
Oh, that's cool. Like,
And
you made another year.
and I would look back at it like the following years. And when I would look back at it, it would actually reveal some things. to me. So that's great. That's
That growth, man. I think, you know, we don't look at it enough. You know, like we don't look at it, we don't strategically plan it. You know, it's something to really, really look at. So it's funny you guys mentioned the videos. I remember when I was active duty Air Force, I went through this season where I would do these morning talks, like as I'm driving to work, right? They were just kind of like a quote of the day, whatever was on my heart. And it was interesting to look back. I was going through my old phone and look back and I was like, oh, man, I was dropping gems 11 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I don't rap, but I got some bars for you. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Nah, but
You can get this motivational heat, bro.
pull up.
yeah, that's real though. That's real.
Nah,
That's Tony Robbins be talking to you, big dog.
But kind of switching gears on the strategic marketing planning. So Protective Marketing LLC.
Yes.
Right? Tell us a little bit about it first, and then we'll kind of break it down.
So it's an all-around marketing. So it's whatever you kind of need. So it's kind of based off my experience. And so with me working at the Salvation Army and the Solano EDC, they're nonprofits. So the team is usually me.
Gotcha.
So that also has led me to have a lot of experience. So it's just not traditional marketing. It could be event planning. You know, it could be podcasting. It could be video and editing. So many aspects. So it's really, I have a marketing form that people can just fill out to just kind of tell me what you need. And then even if I can't do it, then I always, you know, try to network and connect to the right person.
Yeah.
That's good.
Let me say, Watch Me Grow specifically. So you know we're helping that organization.
Shout out to Watch Me Grow.
Shout out Jamila and the team.
Yes.
But
The whole team.
she was building the flyer for the event, the ACES event.
Yes.
And she said, "Oh, I got Darren working on it." And I was like, "Darren." She's like, "He works at," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I know Darren." And I sent that to our people, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna need y'all to like get on this website. What is it? Like the booklet."
Oh,
flyer
issue.
booklet.
Oh, I got you. Issue.com. Issue.com.
Yeah, I saw that, and
That's
I
where to
said,
go.
"This
Marketing.
he be cooking."
Yeah, newsletters, all that type of stuff.
Gotcha.
It was, I mean, like I said, and our people do great work, and even I was like, you guys need to add this to your booklet.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's definitely one of the things that I do. Is I also have free marketing consultations.
Okay.
That's 30 minutes for like anybody just coming in to where even if I can't work with you, I can at least go through your stuff
Yeah.
and give you
some tangibles.
Look at issue.com
Yeah.
if you want to be able to start
Right.
doing these type of marketing outlets, things of
Yeah.
that nature.
So what are some of the common, like, maybe tips or feedback that you give businesses that if someone's watching or listening to this, that they're jumping into this space but they need help in that marketing space?
Tell your story. So that's one of the things that we definitely specialize in is telling the story. So every organization, business has a story. So tell your story, get that clear, and then you'll be able to build more relationships with your clientele or whoever you're trying to reach.
Like your origin story. Yeah, because people want to know how you got
Yeah,
there.
everybody wants to know. Make sure you're not no quick hustle.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to get over real quick. Tell them your story.
Yeah. I was telling one of our clients, the podcast client is, we were going, I had sent them the final product, and they were like, oh, I thought you were going to cut out this piece where, like, I corrected myself. And I said, why?
Yeah.
You're a human.
Right.
That part.
You didn't disrespect anybody. You didn't say anything. You literally just said, oh, what I meant to say was.
Yes.
Or there's nothing wrong with that. And I was like, if anything, it gives you credibility as a human. And they were, and they were like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And I said, you don't want to, I'm not going to edit every single time you messed up, as long as it's still gives your message. And your message is that you are out here building. And every once in a while, people misspeak.
Yes.
You pronounce something in the wrong way. It's like it's okay. I think there's
Nobody's
just like this over need to be perfect.
Yes. One another sports lesson I learned, I metaphor life with sports a lot, but nobody's perfect. You can train and do a layup, I don't know how many times. You're going to miss one. It's a layup. It's right there by the bucket. But you're going to miss one. So nobody's perfect.
Yep.
Right.
So you just have to live with that.
Hey, Darren, I got a quick question.
Yes.
On your marketing journey, what was your I'm him moment, right? Since you've been doing this for a while and working with companies and businesses and small businesses, big businesses, what was your I'm him moment?
I got it was when I started in school. When I started in school, I knew this is what I wanted to do. As mentioned, I have a music background. And one of the things, I'm a lyricist, and I love metaphors, similes, all types of comparisons. So I took a marketing class. I was just taking classes at the time, and they said, come up with a commercial for Sprint. And I came up with something that was just for the Sprint phones. And I was just like, well, put somebody on a track, have somebody running super fast, and put the other people with the T-Mobile phones, put them jogging, Sprint wins. And I was like, wait, that was easy.
Yeah.
The teacher was just like, that was good. I was like, that was,
Yep.
it was a metaphor.
You just have a mind for it.
Yeah, so I was just like, I could do this.
Yeah.
So it's just really still getting to that point, but I know I got it.
Yeah.
What's,
Oh, go
oh,
ahead.
you go.
Yeah. What's part of the end goal with protective marketing?
So, well, the end goal is to continuously keep growing, of course. That don't make sense, but there is no end goal as far as that, because I want to keep going. But it's to really just be a representation, as we talking about telling a story is so important. So being able to tell people's stories thoroughly, get that connection built is like the realest thing that I really want to build and be able to bring my visions to life. And that's going to take a staff and team.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wink, wink.
We can only do so much. Feel like Superman. But definitely just to hopefully employ, and employ those from Solano County, those from neighborhoods and upbringing such as myself, giving opportunities, internships. Like if I can start something that's just providing for the community, that's the goal.
It seemed like a lot of, at least what you just said, align up with our vision, the values, obviously. I think, and us talking about raising a family here in Solano County, as the kids get older, right, us being able to create a space where folks, where we're now giving folks an opportunity to work for an intern or, whatever, and they see that they're a part of the bigger picture, right, the bigger mission. And so, that, I look forward to, as we continue to collaborate with folks within Solano County and even outside of it, right? Because I feel that, when you don't bring outsiders in, right, to the county will only have a specific picture, right? And sometimes you need those outside influences or outside minds to come to the table and have those mastermind sessions so that you can, kind of expand outside of that box. And that's one of the things that I look forward to, you know, not even just the podcast, but our business, bringing to Solano County and then bringing people together to be able to solve a deeper problem, right? Whether it's marketing, whether it's whatever it is, right? And so I'm excited about, you know, what the next X amount of years look like. You know,
Straight up. I'm excited for you guys too.
So 10 years from now, someone's telling your story. What's the story?
Oh man.
Take your time.
yeah. That's it's a lot to uncover, man. Because I'm just blessed to be here.
Yeah.
I'm blessed to be in my right mind, health, free, and not saying that like I have a background or anything like that, but,
No, but freedom is.
it's a real thing.
I had a.
You know, just I shook a lot of obstacles to get here,
Yeah.
and it couldn't have been here. I couldn't be here besides God. So it's just. It would be just amazing. It would be amazing testimony to give. It would just be encouraging definitely for anybody that's going through hardships to where they think that they can't get out. But there's a way if you stay patient.
So on that, what are some characteristics that you feel that a great leader or entrepreneur should have or need to have?
Be able to lead by example. Being able to lead by example.
Can you
Being
break that down? Because a lot of people just throw that around.
Yeah.
Being able to.
Metaphor.
Yeah.
Give me a simile.
Definitely. Being able to, you know, when you ask something from your team, even if you're not as good in that skill set, but whatever you're giving to the team, you're giving the same effort.
Yeah.
Right? You're not, like, even delegating, it's needed, right? But you have to be good at it.
Yeah.
Because it could easily be, like, you're just sitting there doing nothing. You're not engaged or anything. So making sure that who you're leading is seeing you involved in what you believe and putting that work forward.
Yeah, so school just started. I have 5 kids in my house, 7 to 11 years old. Yeah, it's a good time. So we got out of the house late, first day of school. Kids didn't eat lunch or breakfast because I normally drop them off for breakfast, and I was like, "Yo, that's why we're supposed to get out the house by 7 o'clock." I don't feel bad for you. I told you what you're supposed to do.
Hey,
and so I said, I guarantee you probably won't make this mistake tomorrow. And I said, let me add another incentive. For every minute past 7 o'clock that we are, if I'm ready and we leave, every minute past 7 o'clock we don't leave, that's 10 minutes off internet time or device time, whatever it is, right?
I like that.
They was ready at 6:55 the next day. So we get in the car, and my oldest, she's just like me, so she's always trying to find ways to find the incentive.
Yep.
And she said, so we were on time, Dad. What happens if you're late? And I said, fair question. There's standards for everybody in the house, right? I said, if we leave past 7:05, I'll do the dishes that night. Okay. And she said, what about 7:10? I was like, it's never gonna happen, but sure, I'll play. Yeah. And I was like, I'll get you guys donuts. And so like for the first couple days, they're just like sitting all huddled in the car, and they're clocking in. And I on purpose, I'm 7:03. 7:03. And they were like, man. Yes. And I said, let me tell you guys something. You will never catch me telling you to do something if I don't do it myself. I said, what type of example as a father would I be to you if I told you that we need to be on time and I myself was not on time? Yes. I said, things will happen, but 99% of the time, I'm going to be there on time. And that's to show you guys that I just don't talk. And they were like, yep.
That's how you got to do it. That's how you got to do it.
Hey, Darren, I got a question for you. With about 4 to 5 months left in the year, what have you or your business or as a whole learned about yourself this year?
Oh man, I could tell you. Man, I need to bet on myself. That's what it is.
I like it.
The more I learn and the more I get engaged in my business, the more I learn I need to bet on myself.
Yeah.
Shout out to my employers for sure. But I definitely need to employ myself.
Yeah.
And I can see that's definitely the better chance for financial freedom. And I see it. Like, I just see so many Like, oh man, if I was to go 100%, man. So that's it. Just to get to the point to bet on myself. Still learning, but that's the one for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to your point though, Will Smith actually, I don't know if you guys seen it. Will Smith tells a story about the difference between a B and an A, and how his son was telling him he's gonna get an A because he kept getting a B, and Will Smith was like, nah, you can't, because and he explained to him why. He said because you think that there's the same effort you need to get a B to an A from a C to a B.
Yeah.
And it's a difference. It's like good to great. You know what I mean? And you can look at it. You said you're a sports guy, so you can look at it from Kobe to Michael. It's a difference between Michael and Scottie Pippen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a difference between LeBron and Dwayne Wade. You know what I mean? It's a difference between good and great. And he was kind of explaining that. And the reason why I love that you said that, because I thought about it myself. So with the way I work and how you never want to be older and sitting 60, 75 and think about life and how you didn't work hard enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can't go back.
You can't go back.
Ain't no reset button. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love that you said that.
Definitely.
Believe it. There's this saying. So from a marketer, I would love to get your take on this. There's a saying that says, "Good marketers can make a company feel smart. Great marketers can make the customer feel smart."
Oh yeah. That's how you want it.
What are your thoughts on that? Like from a marketing standpoint, like.
Definitely. Your goal, like one of the key things, if you can ever get this, is to have your clients or whoever's looking out for you feel special about engaging with you. So if you can make, like for instance, the L3 podcast, people are excited to talk about it. They be like, look, there's this gym here. Like that's the best marketing you can do.
Yeah.
Of course we want to make you guys feel good too, right? But you want the customer to feel just as engaged. They almost feel a part of you.
Yeah.
They're talking more than you are in rooms that you're not in.
Right.
So definitely, that's when you definitely client based and when you're focused on making sure that your message is being received, telling your story, because then people feel connected again, and not just sell. We got 20% off. Come to the store.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Got you. Business owners, leaders, hopefully you're taking the notes.
So I'm gonna ask G's question.
Yep.
Since we switched it up
Let's
today.
do it.
So there's really only one scripted question on our podcast ever that we ask every guest, and it's life, love, or leadership. Choose one and discuss why you chose it and why you think it's instrumental to how you operate on a day-to-day basis.
Love. Of course, all of these are connected, very easily intertwined. But without the love in there, you don't want to see a leadership full of hatred. You don't want to see a life full of hatred. If you have love in there intertwined, the life that you live is more precious. You're more satisfied with things. You're more satisfied with what you have. When you love as a leadership, you're more in tune to what your goal is. You love on those that are helping you. You're not looking at them as just a person or a number that's just helping you reach a bigger number. So definitely love would be the first one to navigate through everything else.
Speaking of love, I love protective marketing. How can folks find you as we wrap up? How can folks find you? And then what are some last maybe thoughts? Like, here's your plug. You know what I mean? Grab that mic and spit those metaphors. No,
Definitely. Next time. Definitely Darren Holmes. Thank you guys for having me. Protective marketing. So it's protectivemarketing.org. I am on LinkedIn and I'm on Facebook. So definitely go there to reach out to me. There's definitely examples of my work on there. The organizations that I work with. So definitely just go take a gander. I think in the upcoming, I do have, plug one thing.
Please.
So I'm working on a digital magazine that I'll be coming up through the issue type outlet. But it's going to be called Soul Focus, and it's going to be almost this what you guys are doing, but in a digital magazine format.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'm gonna be trying to reach out to entrepreneurs in Solano County.
Yeah.
Highlight them because I know how important it is to, once again, tell the story.
Of course.
It's just so many bad representations out there.
Yeah.
So I love being the one that can show that positive story. So
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's
Let us
pretty
know.
dope.
We'll push it out.
definitely, and I'm gonna have you guys too. I'm
We'll
gonna definitely reach out to you guys, and it'll be full circle for sure.
For
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Yeah. Well, we definitely appreciate your presence, man, and your time. You know,
Thank
like
you.
like I said, this conversation was overdue. We were supposed to connect a while ago, but I'm also a firm believer that that everything happens for a reason, and the timing that it happens for a reason. So, with that being said, man,
I'm honored.
from the L3 Perspective platform, our entire team, everything that you're doing in Solano County and helping these businesses come up with these marketing strategic plans and helping them to execute, just thank you because it's needed here in the community, right? And so,
Thank you.
You want to close us out, brother?
Yes, sir. So, appreciate you. As we close out, y'all, don't forget, like, love, share, subscribe. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Share with your friends. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Everything.
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 Google search.
Google search here, right? And then that being said, the L3perspective.com will be coming soon. So we're working on that. So
Sir.
appreciate y'all. And we'll see y'all later.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is
I was afraid, I didn't know what to do. A lot of us be coming in it.
And what I'll say was amazing to me was
Season 2. Welcome back to the L3 Perspective. My name is Glenn Davis. As you know, I'm sitting here with my co-host, Cameron Macias.
Coach Gam.
L3 Perspective, as you know, we talk about life, love, leadership.
As we've talked about in the past, like, love, share, subscribe. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Because at the end of the day, we do it for you guys.